Welcome, class, to week 4. Before we move into the content we're going to have in the upcoming week, I'll go through module 3 and just highlight those areas that you need to know moving forward. Week 3 was all about discussing the internal factors of the company and using these factors to assess the strategy health. So we looked at the SWOT analysis as a mechanism, looking at the value chain, and then lastly, financial strength, and looking at those ratios. So those are 3 critical areas that you'll need to understand going forward. We also had the business strategy simulation activity and then a video discussion and discussion questions and personal SWOT, which I wanted to thank everyone for sharing their own personal SWOT with the rest of the team. Takeaways from the week, good engagement. Discussion question responses were excellent. I saw increased use of examples and application. It really strengthens your responses and helps illustrate that you understand the concepts very well. The case study improvement recommendations I sent last week's via email. I'm going to do the same thing this week, is just summarize the case study information that I saw and where there's room for improvement in terms of the class. So be looking for that email to come out as soon as I have completed grading all the case studies. Moving into week 4, we're going to focus on competitive strength. And competitive strength for strategy is important because you must understand that for the company, it is an internal factor, but it allows you to see how strong is your company to take on some other options, such as mergers and acquisitions or global strategies. It also covers your ability to go on the offense or defense depending on your competitive strength. So these are some things we are going to be discussing this week. We will have video discussion questions and discussion questions. A case study will be Under Armour and then business simulation. Now, the other thing that does show in your module is the Peregrine resource and study material. That will be coming up obviously in week 7 according to our calendar, but it is out there for you to start looking at in preparation for that. In addition, you also have your ACE assignments you should be working on and completing those as part of the requirements for this capstone course. The case study for Under Armour is going to focus on those competitive strategies. So you're going to take a look at the 5 generic competitive strategies in Chapter 5 and pick the one that best describes Under Armour and make sure that you highlight those examples to substantiate your position. Then you'll talk about the rivals for Under Armour, and you'll do that using a competitive weight assessment chart. And I have a template for you to use. It is included in the material, so you can just plug in the numbers and use that chart for your paper, and then you'll also talk to the data on that chart. Then you'll also focus on what strategy options are available for Under Armour based on their competitive strength. And you'll look at, should they form an alliance, should they merge, should they acquire, or should they even do outsourcing as an option? And then lastly, what does their global presence look like? And which of the 3 global strategies in Chapter 7, page 154, would you pick and why? And how could they implement that? And then you'll conclude your paper. So this is what we have coming up for the case study. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a good week.